Hello Prep 2, how are you? I hope you're doing great. I am Miss Shahinda and this is our last video of revision. Ready? On this video we're having two lessons, if conditional and the reported questions. This is our agenda for today. The first conditional. We use this case to talk about real and possible situations, which means I'll go shopping on the way home if I have time. It's a real possible situation. If it's a nice day tomorrow, we'll go to the beach. Again, it's possible, real. If Arsenal wins, they will be top of the league. And for the first conditional, if I use the present simple in the first sentence, will plus infinitive in the second. And this is all about if. Easy, right? The second conditional if. Even easier. So, the opposite of the first case. It's unreal, impossible cases. We can also use the second conditional for advice and for imagination. Again, it's unreal. For example, if I won a lot of money, I would buy a big house in the country. This is imagination. That's why I couldn't use the first conditional if. I used the second. I used the past simple in the first sentence, would plus infinitive in the second. If I were a bird, I would fly away. This is unreal. This is imagination. If he weren't poor, he would buy a luxury car. Again, this is imagination. If I were you, I would act differently. This is advice. Notice that we use were in the second conditional if in most of the cases, especially advice, unreal, and impossible cases. But with imagination, I'm allowed to use were or was. But better stay safe and use were in all the second conditional if cases. The third, we use the third to talk about something in the past that did not happen. So it's very different from the first and second because we're talking about the past. Not only the past, the opposite of what had happened in the past. Check. If I'd known, I would have worn something nicer. I didn't know about the party, so I didn't wear special clothes. I didn't know. This is the opposite. And I didn't wear special clothes. So we use for the third conditional if the past perfect had plus the past participle in the first sentence of if, and the unreal past would have plus the past participle, could have plus the past participle, or might have plus the past participle. The second example, if she had studied hard, she could have passed the exam. She neither studied nor passed. This is the opposite of what had happened in the past. If you had arrived a minute later, you would have missed the bus. Thank goodness he arrived on time and called the bus. The quiz. Rewrite the sentences using if. They work hard, they win the competition. This is present. That's a good thing. This is real. So this is the first conditional. If they work hard, they will win the competition. Don't forget the comma between the two clauses. Noha didn't study, she got bad marks. This is past, so this is the third conditional. Use if, past perfect. If Noha hadn't studied, no, I have to use the opposite of what had happened. So if Noha had studied, she would have got good marks. You should wear heavy clothes. It's advice. If I were you, I would wear heavy clothes. Iman doesn't help her mom, so her mom is angry. This is present, yes, but this is unreal. This is the opposite of the true thing. She doesn't help mom. So, if she helped her mom, she wouldn't be angry. Noha was absent. She didn't attend the meeting. Again, this is past. We will use the opposite. If Noha hadn't been absent, she would have attended the meeting. Finished. Easy, right? Let's move to the second reported questions. Now we have two cases of the reported questions. Yes or no questions and WH questions. Both of them are easy. Note that we report yes or no questions with if or whether. For example, He asked if he could go to the market. We use some question words. We use the same question word in reporting WH questions. For example, he asked where the supermarket was. When we report questions, the subject comes before the verb, of course, because the reported sentence is a statement, not a question. When reporting questions, we don't use the auxiliary verb do, of course, because it's not a question anymore, so we don't need a helping verb unless, except in negative sentences, when we will need a helping verb, the auxiliary verb do, which would be did, of course. It's not so different from reported statements, how the tense, the pronoun, and adverb changes are the same. That's true. The present would be past, the past perfect, will would be would, and so on. Also, the pronouns changes will be the same. Adverbs here, there, now, then, and so on. Examples. Dina asked, is mom here? Let's first start. Remove the speech marks and connect using if or whether. Thank you, because this is a yes or no question. So Dina asked if. After if or whether, we use the subject, mom. Now change the verb to the past, was there. It's better, safer, if you when you use a word, the subject, cross the subject and start from the beginning of the question so that you don't forget any word. Dina asked if or whether her mom was there. I can use mom or her mom. Do you have a pencil, Sally? May asked. So May asked Sally if, then the subject, you becomes, of course, a she. We cross do. Have is had because it's a present. The sentence is present. We change it to the past and continue the sentence. Where did you live last year, Sarah? Jasmine asked. So Jasmine asked Sarah, of course. So Jasmine asked Sarah. I will connect using the same WH word. Jasmine asked Sarah where. Cross did. You becomes the she. Where she. The sentence is past, so it will be had lived. Past perfect. Last year would be the year before. Jasmine asked Sarah where she had lived the year before. Dad asked, how many pens will you buy today? Dad asked me, right? Or Dad asked only. So Dad asked me, how many pens? All this is the question word. I have to start with the subject, how many pens? I will becomes would. Buy is the same after would. Today would be that day. Dad asked how many pens I would buy that day. Quiz time. Change into reported sentences. Do you want to drive? Simon asked me. Yes, it's a yes or no question, so I would use if. I will cross to. You becomes I. If I wanted to drive. Okay. Mark, had John left? Pause the video and answer if you don't have time. Mark asked me, again, if John had left. Can I replace John with he? No, it's a name, keep it as it is. Sam, where does Petra live? Sam asked me, where? After where the subject, Petra. Cross does. It's a sentence. The sentence is present, so change it into past. Lived. Where Petra lived. Jake, did you watch the match? Jake asked me if I had watched the match. Cross did. The sentence is past, so make it past perfect. Monica, can I borrow your pen? Monica asked if I is she could borrow my pen. And we have finished. Stay safe, have a nice day, and goodbye.